Hello guys and welcome back to another round of FPLTIPZ live streams. So let's begin by seeing who we've got. Welcome Jim, welcome Lille, welcome Clement. So how were your game week scores? 38. Yeah, not great. 38, not great. 48 -4, a bit better, below average. Not the best scores. Game week to forget, City players clearly is a must-have. Yeah, well, we will get to them. My topics for today, number 2, Man City. My topics this week are all seem to be different teams that people want discussing, but yeah, those are the 4 main ones, and we'll get to City especially in a bit. 42, yeah, a lot of bad scores on Twitter at the moment. Tends to happen because we all follow the same sort of template. So when Twitter itself does badly, we all do badly. But then our average is much. We do well as a community most of the time. So yeah, I imagine some of you might want to be watching the Champions League games. I will do my best to give you updates. CSK Moscow. There's just been a goal in that match. It's now 2-1. So hi Zebra, how you doing? How was your game week score this week? Let me know how all you guys did. So let's begin by let's discuss my team then. 48, not brilliant. Not brilliant at all. Pretty much everyone blanked. Brooks got an assist. He had a disallowed goal as well. Could have been good from him. Trent 14 has been my highest scoring player for the past 2 game weeks, I think. And Salah, captain, Mr. Consistent. Now we'll get on to Salah in a bit and the thoughts for my wildcard next week. So yeah, I'll be playing my wildcard on Friday evening after the Friday night deadline. Don't forget that Friday night deadline this week, 7 o'clock on Friday, UK time. So don't miss out on that one. Don't forget to make your transfers. But on Friday evening, I'll be playing my wildcard, and a lot of things that we'll be talking about will affect who I'm going to bring in. Aguero to miss the Bournemouth game since he starts. We will cover the City team news, and I'll probably talk about City first actually, because they're playing this evening. So yeah, my team not ideal, but we wait, we move on. 48, Wan-Bissaka on the bench, but that's all right. You're never going to start him away at United, are you really? So yeah, not much to say about it, to be honest. A few players not looking great, but we will get to them. Martial's an interesting one. Didn't do much. Man United didn't do anything. So again, he's one I might be looking to get rid of on my wild card. But we will see. So yeah, I will now put up my team for next week. There we go. Playing 5 at the back. Richarlison finds himself on the bench away at a Liverpool team who have conceded virtually no goals. 5 at the back, yeah. Alonso, Trent, Bennett, Wan-Bissaka, Laporte. My transfer this week was Mendy to Laporte, as you might have noticed. I've already done it. I think I did it on Sunday. So yeah, Hazard captain currently if he's all right. I feel like Fulham at home, especially with the Aguero playing tonight, he will be my captain. Martial, Salah, Aguero, Arnautovic. I imagine someone there won't play, so I'm not too concerned about benching Richarlison. But yeah, that's how I'm lining up for this game week. So fire away some of your questions, and we'll get on to City. City is one we want to discuss, and I'll get on to him quite soon. So 46, not bad. Yeah, great to miss the Bournemouth game. We'll see about that. I'm thinking Doherty to Toby after the Arsenal game. To Toby, all the way around. Is that? Oh, presumably presumably that's what you're meaning, to Toby Alderweireld. Yeah, I think Spurs' run, and we'll get onto them as well. Spurs' run is just really good coming up. A lot of clean sheets, I imagine, in them. I don't know quite how I'd fit them in. Alonso is on thin ice in my team, to be honest. If he blanks at home to Fulham, then he really could be making way for one of those Spurs defenders, who I think pose better value. But we'll see. So yeah, let's just begin by talking about the Man City lineup. Let me just get it up so I've got it in front of me. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. So Ederson, Walker, Stones, Laporte, Zinchenko, Fernandinho, David Silva, Mahrez, Sane, Sterling, and Aguero all start. And that is what a lot of people are stressing about. The fact that Mahrez, Sane, Sterling, and Aguero all start. And then who's going to play at the weekend? Now, I don't think we can make virtually any judgments on this until we get to full time of the City game. So I'm not sure we can make any judgments on him, on who's going to play this weekend until full time of this game. If Aguero comes off at 60 minutes, he will most likely play at the weekend. If he plays the full 90, I doubt he will. Same goes for all three of those players. He's not going to bother wasting a sub, bringing off a player he doesn't want to play at the weekend. So I'd wait. I don't know what Pep's plan is. I don't know what formation they're playing. Are they playing two up front? Are they playing Aguero and Sterling? Are they playing a 4-2-3-1 with one of them in the middle? Mahrez maybe in the middle, Sane and Sterling on the wings, Silva and Fernandinho behind. Not entirely sure what they're doing. In defence, Laporte starts again. Zinchenko's an interesting one because that sort of means that Delph is going to play at left back again, which is an interesting one. I mean, he's not necessarily a player I'm going to look to bring in, but if you're looking for a cheap City option, I think Delph's not a bad one. Alisson to Lloris, you have Robertson, and Doherty to Alderweireld. Done after Arsenal game, absolutely good. Ooh, but then you're going double Spurs clean sheets. Yes, I still would do it, to be honest. The second pairing is a much better defensive combination. Maybe, I don't know who else you could. Also, Arsenal have really good fixtures. So maybe instead of Lloris, you go Leno, or instead of Alderweireld, you go someone like Bellerin. I know they've not been great defensively, but they have great fixtures, and I'm not keen on defensive double ups, as you know. So, yeah. Don't you think Sarri won't risk Hazard against a team like Fulham and use him maybe in the second half if he needed him? I would have said that if we'd have beaten Spurs. Yeah, only if he'd beaten Spurs, then maybe, but he really needs to bounce back. He really needs. He's not going to risk anything, I don't think, against Fulham under a new manager. So I wouldn't think he's going to rest him. We'll see. And if he doesn't play midweek either, but wait until the presses. If he's not fit, and Aguero plays 90 minutes tonight, I'll probably activate my wild card before Friday, make all the changes, and go into Friday with my team. Now, the big decision on my wild card is Salah's not going to be in it. Currently, Salah is not in my wild card team. The defense currently remains the same. Goalkeepers remain the same. And then I'm changing midfield and strike fours. So my midfield would be, the five for them would be still Brooks currently. If the price drops are fine and I can keep him. Richarlison stays. Arnautovic stays and Kamara stays. So the 4 that are changing are Hazard, Martial, Salah and Aguero. And I'm currently planning on rotating them to Mane, Sane, Sterling and Harry Kane. So we'll be playing a 4-4-2 with Sane, Sterling, Mane, Richarlison, Kane, Arnautovic is my plan. Let me know what you think of no Salah in my team though. Got Sane in for Bernardo Silva, and finally got rid of Lacazette for game week 14. This makes way for Sterling and Kane game week 15. I mean, they're good moves. Who did you get rid of Lacazette for? But that's done. They're good moves. They are good moves. Clement, that's a good couple of transfers there. Only one I do get ordered and keep Alisson and Robertson. I drop Alisson to Lloris no matter what. It's just I'm not sure I'd do the second. I wouldn't do the second transfer. Oh, only one I'd get. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Wolves is my talking point number 4. I do Alisson to Lloris, and you have Robertson. I definitely do Alisson to Lloris, and I'd probably hold off on the other one, to be honest. For now, that's what I'd hold off. An Arsenal attacker has to be in your wildcard. I'm not sure they do, and the reasoning behind this is the only ones I'd want are their forwards in Lacazette and Aubameyang. And yes, they have great fixtures, but I think there are better options than them. That 9 million you're spending on Lacazette, you can spend on Leroy Sané, and for this Christmas period, I just think City have been banging goals. So I think Sané's a better option than Lacazette, and then Sterling is a better option than Aubameyang, personally. So that's why I'm not having any Arsenal cover in my team. Again, Bellerin is an interesting one, and I think a Spurs player, a Spurs mid, sort of combines that 1 clean sheet point, which will seem to be getting a lot. But I think if you want Lacazette, why would you pick Lacazette over Sane? And if you want Aubameyang, why would you pick Aubameyang over Sterling? Don't fancy Alderweireld after the Arsenal game. Wolves being poor. They are. The reason I was thinking not getting him in is a defensive. I'm not a big fan of having 2 defenders from the same team. I think it risks too much on that clean sheet. So, which is why I wasn't sure of it. There are other options, to be honest. There are a lot of other defences if you don't want Doherty, but there are a lot of other options. I'm not sure I'd double up on Spurs defence just yet, to be honest. So yeah, let's get into the Spurs talking point. As a Chelsea fan, it was a hard game to watch. Honestly, I have to be honest. It was a hard game to watch. Credit to Spurs. It wasn't only us. You might have read a lot of things. Chelsea looked awful. Chelsea looked absolutely dreadful. The worst performance I've seen from them all season. Sorry, I'm just tweeting out the link to the stream. Yeah, so Chelsea looked absolutely awful. The worst I've seen them all season. But Spurs looked like a whole new team. Sorry, there we go. Spurs look like a completely different side, and so their wing backs. I'm going to go through most of their team. Their wing backs are rotation hazards. Unbelievable rotation from them. I have 9%. Their wing backs are rotation galore. Their centre backs are nailed. It will be Vertonghen and Alderweireld. Great options, both 5.9. Take your pick. Midfield is tough because Ali and Ericsson seem deep this season, and Ali said it in one of his interviews that he doesn't like that he thinks he's going to be playing a lot deeper and he's going to have less impact going forward, but he doesn't mind that. Ericsson again, set pieces, but when Trippier's playing, he might not be on them. Son looked incredible, but he's got Lucas and Lamella. Son and Kane are the ones. I'm getting Kane in. Yeah, I'm going to be going with Kane, but Son is an option. He goes in game week 21 to the Asia Games again, and he'll miss about 4 weeks, I imagine. I think it was, yeah, 3 weeks and then about a week recovery he'll need. But yeah. So, from my point of view, a centre back, Son, if you can't afford Kane. So, Liverpool only get less than 5 don't fancy all after the Arsenal game. Wolves being poor. Yeah, would only have one Spurs defender. Leaning towards keeping 2 Liverpool defenders. Think Toby is nailed. I do. I think it will be Alderweireld and Vertonghen for 9 out of the 10 games this Christmas period, or 8 out of 10, and they'll both other centre backs will get one rest. To be honest, yeah, I think Son, Moura, and Lamella will share minutes. I think Son will get 75% of the minutes, or 75% of the starts, but yeah, he'll probably start 7 out of 10 games. Lucas will get 1 or 2, and Lamella will get 1 or 2. But yeah, how important are premium strikers compared to 7 mil and below strikers? Do you think there's more value in midfield than up top? I absolutely do. There are occasionally teams where you kind of have to have their striker, which is my opinion looking at Spurs. I don't see Son as an option for me, but I feel up front you're better off having cheaper strikers. I don't like the look of my team if I had 2 cheap strikers, but I think necessarily 1 expensive striker is probably the maximum you're going to have. Looking at who else you can have, there are countless sort of cheap options, whether you're playing 2 up front or 3 up front. But yeah, I think there is a lot of debate to have and a lot of reasoning to have no premium forwards in your team. Okay, so let's get on. Yeah, so the Spurs Chelsea game, I'll combine Spurs and Chelsea into sort of one point. I just think Chelsea is an interesting one, and Hazard's going out on my wildcard. I'm keeping Alonso, but Hazard just doesn't look good at the moment. I've brought him in, and he scored me no points since I did, which is quite frustrating. But I'm just personally just don't have a place for him in my team. I think there's better value elsewhere. I'm keeping Alonso because I want someone from Chelsea. Not supporting Chelsea and not having one of their team seems ridiculous. So I'm keeping Alonso for now, but Hazard will be going to make way for those double City midfielders. I prefer Doherty to Toby over Alisson to Lloris, I think. Okay, no reason not to have two. Yeah, no, there's no reason not to have double up. But yeah, anyway, Chelsea, there's no other option. Jorginho looked poor at the weekend, and there's been a lot of talk around him. I mean, I wouldn't change our lineup. Luis needs to watch out his place. He was so dreadful at the weekend. If Arnie's out, I mean, Arnie's not going to be injured for long term. He might miss this game, and this is. I was looking at replacing him on my wild card because he's not going to play low. He can't play every game over the Christmas period. He just can't. But then there aren't necessarily there are a lot of options in the bracket of cheap forward, but there aren't any necessarily that I want to play every game. I was looking at Jimenez, but at the end of the day he plays for Wolves, so you're better off having Arnautovic, to be honest. So yeah, on my wild card, if he's out long term, then I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't looked, to be honest. What formation on my wild card? It will be most weekends are 4-4-2. Yeah, 4-4-2 with my bench being Bennett or Wan-Bissaka. They'll rotate. So we'll say Bennett, Brooks, and Kamara on my bench. Kamara first sub, and then Brooks and Bennett will rotate depending who's first and second, depending on who's got a better fixture. Keep Jimenez. Yeah, I still would. His fixtures are all right, especially for his price. I definitely keep him. Yeah, I would. Yeah, so Chelsea, if I had Louise in my team, I'd be worried that he's not going to play. I really would. He was so awful at the weekend. Kepa's fine if you have him. Alonso's fine, and Hazard is all right. But those are the only 3 players in the Chelsea lineup that I'd want. I'd even consider having, to be honest. The rest of them are too much rotation. Morata's not nearly good enough. Giroud should start, but he seems not. Pedro should start, but he seems not to. So yeah. Hazard's an interesting one. I'm getting rid, but I can see why people keep him, but I just think there are better options in those City midfielders. So we're not going to do it quite yet, guys, but I'll just put out the hashtag now for to get your team rated. So if you put out, I'll put it in the chat. Where's hashtag on this machine? There. Hashtag tips Sane. Tips Sane. And as always, any free transfers, any money in the bank, and any key notes. If you tweet that out, only during the live stream, if you're watching this on replay, unfortunately, I might not check it that often. But if you at me, then I'll reply. But for you guys, put the tips Sane, like that. And then I will do my best to, and I will go through and rate all of your teams for you, and we'll go through them sort of together, and discuss them. So yeah, tweet that out now, and we'll get to them in a little while. Hazard to Sterling or Sane after the Fulham game? I think if you're having one, Sterling. If you're going to have one City player, Sterling. If he's going to be your second City asset, then I'd go Sane. So Aguero and Sane, or Sterling and Sane. But on its own, Sterling. Yeah, that's the way I go. I think the reason I'm going Sterling and Sane in my wild card is they are both first choice. So when everyone's fit, they both play. And I will always have a City forward. If you own, let's say you own Aguero and Sterling, or Aguero and Sane, there is a small chance that he lines up with Mahrez, Jesus, Sterling, or Mahrez, Jesus, Sane. It's possible. Whereas if I have Sane and Sterling in my team, the likelihood that he lines up with Mahrez and another winger, he goes for his third and fourth choice. I don't even know who the fourth choice City winger is so small. So yeah, I don't think that. I feel like I'm slightly rotation proof, as in I will have someone playing, but it's sort of second guessing if I'm using my captain on them who it's going to be. Now we move on to Wolves, and I never brought in Doherty, and I never will, because I think it's too much on a Wolves defender. But the price and affordability you get from Bennett and Jimenez is still brilliant, and Patricio as well. I think there are better keepers. There are a lot of 4.5 keepers, even 4.4 keepers. I'll just talk about that in a minute. Bennett and Jimenez are your 2 Wolves players you'd probably be looking at. Doherty, I wouldn't necessarily sell, but if they keep underperforming in the next couple of weeks, if they don't keep a clean sheet necessarily this week, then I would maybe free up those funds and get Bennett in. But they do still offer great, and we know what they can do, so it's not like they're just going to have lost that. So I wouldn't stress too much. It's one game. They didn't play well, that's true, but it's not something that I'd necessarily stress quite too much about. So yeah, don't stress on Wolves. And so next, is the cheap keepers. And now there's one keeper in particular that I've been looking at because of how it helps me out over the Christmas period, and that is Lossell. The same place for Huddersfield, the same with Hammer, and that is the cheapest way into having the first and second choice keeper of any team. And they have not bad fixtures at all. They've kept a few clean sheets recently, 2 in their last 3. I mean, they are solid defensively. They don't score a lot of goals, but that means they can't afford to concede many goals. So yeah, Lossell is an interesting one. I probably won't end up bringing him in. I'll probably stick with Fabianski, but Fabianski worries me with Adrian might wanting to play a few games over this Christmas period. So yeah, Lossell at 4.4 and Hammer at 4.0 is a really, really good option. So keep your questions coming, guys, and I will keep answering them. If there's anything you guys want to see from the stream in weeks going forward, please don't hesitate to say. I've just hit 100 subscribers last week, which is great. I'm really excited to keep moving forward and seeing where things go. When I'm on my Christmas holidays, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to stream. I'll be very busy, but as soon as I'm back, I'll be back to it, and there'll be a lot of talk. I might not be able to live stream during Christmas holidays, but I will. If I have a free bit of time, I'll record a video and I'll have my topics. So yeah, and I'll do my best to keep helping you all over that busy rotation-filled time. So let me go and see. Has anyone tweeted out their team? A couple of you. Right, let me just. Oh, of course, Leicester City play tonight, don't they? City, that Southampton City Leicester City game in the cup is tonight, isn't it? The one that got rearranged. So right, let's go to Hazard out, Sterling in. I think that's a very, very popular move. Sterling's looking close to a rise again. I think yeah, they're all kicking off now, so I'll do my best and to keep you updated. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's see, does this work? That should work. Let me know, guys. Are you fine in seeing the Twitter page? Yeah, perfect. That should be all fine. Can you see that fine, guys? This is the website I use, and I'll be using flash scores, and I'll be giving you live updates, guys, when anything happens. So yeah, I'll be flicking back and forth so we make sure we keep up to date. So let's start. FPL Zebra, guys. So let me know in the chat what you guys think Zebra should do. He's got 1 free transfer, 1.7 in the bank. Thinking your roll, transfer, bar injuries, then get Spurs defender next week. So yeah, I think you've got your strongest team out. A lot of people are benching their Bournemouth players this week, and that's fair enough. A lot of people are opting for 5 at the back on Twitter because people have got those 5 defences all with good fixtures. So yeah, there's not much I'd change at all, really, to be honest. So yeah, I can see why you were wondering. I personally do Allison to Lloris, to be honest. Frees up a little bit of money. I don't think you necessarily need to upgrade Doherty. You could change him, but he's sort of going to be rotating with Wan-Bissaka quite a lot, and that's what I'm doing with Bennett. So Allison to Lloris does look like a good move, personally. But yeah, wait that week. Also, guys, let me know if any goals do happen and I miss them. But please don't give any fake scores, please. So what have we got here? Hi Jones, how you doing? 0.4 in the bank. Already taken a hit to bring in Sane and David Silva. Want to bring in Son or Sigurdsson in the coming weeks. 0.4 in the bank. Okay, and you want to bring in Son or Sigurdsson in the coming weeks. I just have got to go straight out there and say Martial is a big no-go. Arnautovic, I can imagine Delafeu will be on your quite a lot. Morata though, I just don't see the value in him, to be honest. I would even consider downgrading Morata a lot, like a hefty amount, and upgrading Delafeu to Son. You've got like so many players that you will want to play. Holebas, I mean, Arnautovic in for Delafeu you could even start them this week. Delafeu, Bennett, Holebas is an incredibly strong bench for the players you've got starting. So maybe Morata down and start Arnautovic and allows you to bring in Son for Delafeu. That could be an option for you. If not, then maybe Martial's probably alright at the moment. Yeah, so Delafeu, Morata may be the ones that I'd be looking at, to be honest. Yeah, thank you for sending your teams in. Guys, you guys please let me know. Yeah, if I miss anything, please feel free. Let me just have a look. Any goals gone in yet? No? Okay. So, where are we next? Jim. Fabianski, I want to get Wilson out for Arnautovic. Not sure who to replace Holebas with. Bellin's fixtures are good from game week 16. So, you're playing a nice 3-4-3. Yep, you want Wilson out for Arnautovic. That's fair enough, but you need 0.6 in the bank. Ooh. Very funny, Zebra. Very funny. So you got 0.2 in the bank. If I'm being honest, Jim, what I'd look at is Doherty to Bennett, and then Wilson to Arnautovic, and then Holebas maybe to Lucas Digne or someone like that, or find someone that rotates well with the other couple of defenders. But if you're playing three at the back, you don't need a 4.6 or 4.7 defender and Wan in that defense. There's a lot of money to be spending, because if you want to play Wan, you're benching a 4.6 and a 4.7 defender each week. So that is a lot of money to. So yeah, I definitely downgrade one of them. If you're keen on keeping Doherty, then Holebas, even if he goes to one of the cheap Brighton defenders, that could free up 0. I'm not sure if that quite gives you enough money there, actually, to be honest. You'd need the whole 0.7, so maybe Doherty to Bennett, Holebas to a defender, a Brighton defender, would allow you to bring on Arnautovic. That's probably the best way to go about it. That's if you want to keep two goalkeepers. I don't see much need, especially McCarthy for a Southampton team that aren't keeping very many clean sheets. Him to a 4.0 keeper, and play Fabianski each week with his fixtures now. To be honest, is probably a good idea. You're not going to want to start McCarthy virtually ever with Fabianski's fixtures. I know he's there for backup, but the 0.5 that you could spend without and that 1 week this season where he's not going to play Fabianski is probably worth it. So McCarthy down necessarily, and then Doherty to Bennett would allow you to bring in Wilson and keep another good option in the last defender slot. So I'd look probably to ship McCarthy. I hope that's clear to you, Jim. Yeah, I hope that's clear. Leon nearly scored. Now, an important, just before I go and, oh, you've already sent that, sorry. Just before we keep going with this, if City win tonight, and I know we don't want City to win, but they're going to go through at the end of the day, aren't they? And if they win tonight, that means they are through top of the group and they can rest players in 2 weeks' time, which could help us all out massively. Really could. So if City win tonight, I mean, we all necessarily might not want them to win, but they're going to go through anyway. So it's best for all of us if City do win. And it means that in 2 weeks' time, there's going to be a lot less rotation than maybe if they have to win it to top the group. Yeah, how long have we been? 40 minutes. Wow. Okay. Thank you guys all for sending your team through. If any last teams, anyone else want to tweet out their team, then go for it. If not, send it to me later on Twitter and I will do my best to get round to answering it. So let me just do that. Maybe I should. Yeah, I shouldn't. I should put it in studio, but anyway, that's one to. So, still no goals as of yet. So, guys, I suppose there's not that much else to cover. Let me just get up the fixtures for this week, and we'll have a little chat about them. We've got a little bit of time. So the Friday night deadline again. Remember, if you're watching this, not watching this live, second Friday night deadline will be at 7 o'clock. And then we have Crystal Palace Burnley. I mean, a fairly dull game, but I'm sure we've all got a defender or something in there. Any interesting game though? I mean, you got the North London derby, Arsenal and Liverpool Everton this week, Merseyside derby. So a couple of big games on Sunday, as well as Chelsea Fulham. 3 derbies on Sunday actually. Chelsea Fulham, Arsenal Spurs, and Liverpool Everton. That is a good Sunday of football. And I don't think I've got anything on apart from doing my uni work, so I may watch all 3 of them. And then complain to myself on Monday that I haven't done enough work. Best captain options for this weekend. Oh yeah, so obviously depending on when City players come off, if your City player gets subbed off early tonight, then them, Hazard as well. If not Salah, there's always goals in a Merseyside derby. There's always Fulham. Fulham. I mean, Fulham looked good. As someone said, do you want to captain Hazard again? Someone said to me on Twitter, do you want to captain Hazard even though he's playing a Fulham, rejuvenated side? And I said, yes. Southampton scored twice to get them. I think Hazard can score. And then again, Aguero, Bournemouth. So if I was to I'll do my predictions for sort of all the games. We'll just run through them quickly. Yeah, so maybe this is a good thing. I'll do my predictions at the end of these live streams, if that would be something you guys like. Do you want me to do my predictions at the end of each stream? Let me know if you think that'd be a good idea. So Cardiff Wolves, 2-1 Wolves, maybe 1-0 Wolves. Not a huge amount of goals in that. I could probably see a clean sheet. So hopefully Wolves, but Cardiff have looked good, so I'd go 2-1 Wolves. Crystal Palace Burnley, 1-1. I'm not predicting a lot of clean sheets. There are a lot of close fixtures, but that can always result in a lot of goals. I'm playing 5 at the back, and I'm predicting a few clean sheets. It's never good, but we'll see. Crystal Palace Burnley might be 0-0 or 1-0 Palace. That will be very low scoring. I think those two games. Huddersfield Brighton. Um, Gross is back. Huddersfield have been good in defence. 1-0 Brighton. Leicester Watford 2-2. Man City Bournemouth 4-1. City just score goals for fun. Newcastle West Ham 1-0. Southampton United 3-1 United. Chelsea Fulham 3-1 Chelsea. Arsenal Spurs could be a 2-1 Spurs. We'll go 2-1 Spurs. And Liverpool Everton 4-2 Liverpool. A lot of goals on that Super Sunday and a lot of goals in a few of those games, I think. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, predictions are fairly useless to everyone because 9 times out of 10 you'll be nowhere near. But predicting my team to not do very well, basically. Yeah, but anyway, let's get your final questions in. For anyone who has plays the Champions League Fantasy, Bayern have gone 1-0 up against Benfica. Goal by Iron Robin. Yeah. Goal by Iron Robin. Goal by Shakhtar away at Hoffenheim. Yeah, 1-0 Bayern and 1-0 Shakhtar. Let me just have a look. Are those goals important to anyone? As a Chelsea fan, sadly, I don't pay as close attention to the Champions League as I So sorry, Bayern. Who else is in Bayern's group? Ajax, Benfica. All right. And the other one was Shakhtar Hoffenheim. Shakhtar and Hoffenheim are in City's group. So yeah, not important to City really. City need a draw to basically top the group. Do you think Aguero will play? With his injured, Aguero has a good chance. Again, I'd wait and see when he comes off tonight. I can't answer that. Can't answer that necessarily straight away. But what I can say is, if he comes off, at a reasonable time before the 75th minute, then I think he'll play at the weekend. If he doesn't and plays the full 90, then I don't think he will play. So yeah, if he gets taken off earlier, then yes. If he doesn't, then I don't think he'll play, and that could also result in how the game's playing out. But yeah, I think that's probably the best way to take it, and I think that's how I'll take it. If he plays the full game, then I really might consider playing my wild card. To be honest, if Sterling and Sane both get subbed off early, but we will see. So yeah, Shakhtar have just scored again, 2-0 in space of about 2 minutes. Who is the best replacement for Bernardo Silva? So I presume you don't have Suman. Let me know. Do you have any money spare in the bank? What's your budget for this midfielder? Let me know. What is your budget? How much money do you have left? Yeah. So as always, guys, Suman, I'll answer that when you let me know. Nothing in the bank. Okay. Sorry. Let me just. Time you out. There we go. That was a strange comment, wasn't it? Strange one. Anyway, yeah, Sigurdsson is a good replacement. Sorry, I was just dealing with that comment. Yeah, thanks, Zebra. This is a strange one. Anyway, yeah, Sigurdsson is a good option. Martial as well, but I don't think you can quite afford him.